Hey! Here we are for episode 19. We got together to discuss a bunch of stuff for your listening pleasure. First up, we dig into that awesome Game of Thrones Season 7 trailer. Next, we dig into a few smaller topics, updating on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the release date of Star Wars Episode 9, and an MCU canon confirmation from James Gunn himself. After that, we get really stoked for the announcement of Universal's quote, Dark Universe, and what the future may or may not hold for that new shared film universe. Then, we talk about the announcement for the reboot of Hellboy. After that, we get some set updates from Aquaman. Then we break into a pretty big discussion about the announcement of Tom Hardy taking on the role of Spider-Man's nemesis Venom for Sony. And then we get into an equally large discussion about Joss Whedon accepting the role of director on Justice League, now that Zack Snyder has had to step down for family reasons. Finally, we get into our big thing, which is getting deep into Netherrealm's Injustice 2. We all spent some time playing it, so we wanted to have a huge conversation about it for you. As always, we wrap it up by asking who would win, and in this one we pit Blue Beetle up against Hellboy. Really fun, really obscure matchup in this one.
I'm just saying, I really don't want to record.
And we're live.
What? No!
That was a hot mic. We hot mic'd you.
Yeah, I got hot mic'd. They call me Hot Mike.
Like, similar to a hot Carl, but not quite.
I think they gave him.
That's right. Ladies love the hot Carl.
They gave him the old Mississippi hot mic.
Gave him the old Colombian wet nap.
Well,
gave him the old
it's been a
Venezuelan
good time
tiger
doing the podcast, so we're calling it off again.
We're going to try and cancel this podcast 3 times this podcast if we can.
Oh, no. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. One is enough. One is more than enough.
Gave her the old Chinese forklift.
I still like the Tokyo Sandblaster.
Gave him the old Alabamian Pavemaster.
Play along at home.
The old Orville Redenbacher.
Anyway.
He was like my second favorite Wright brother.
Orville Redenbacher. Well, everybody, you made it a minute and 7 seconds into this, and we applaud.
Congratulations. You are a trooper.
Things that were... Let's list things that were not as weird as the opening of this episode. The Game of Thrones trailer.
Oh, who are we, though?
Wait, we didn't even introduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this backwards. I'm Jordan.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Robert.
Yay!
You made it a minute and 32. You should pat yourself on the back, audience.
It's gonna be a weird one.
Yeah, because we're all kind of
tired
and really full of barbecue.
Got the itis.
Yeah. Oh,
real bad.
Logie. We're Logie. Anyway.
Anyway.
Game of Thrones Season 7 trailer.
That's what it was.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It looks... Shit has gone down in Game of Thrones.
It is going down.
But more shit is going to go further down in this season than the previous season's shit has descended.
Yeah, did you guys all, do the freeze framing like I did, where you looked at specific shots? Oh, I absolutely did.
No, but I watched it at least 6 times. Mm-hmm. But, most of them were on my phone.
Oh, okay.
And then, once on the computer. At first, I didn't know that it was Cersei talking.
Okay.
It took me a second.
Yeah, and then once I realized that, I was like, "Oh shit! She really thinks that she has a shot in this." Okay, cool.
Do you not see the woman with the 7 armies and the fucking dragons coming after you?
Yeah. And then is it Daenerys sitting in? Is that Dragonstone? Is that where she is?
Yeah. It's got to be. I mean, we don't know for certain, but it's got to be. Yeah.
Because she found a throne too.
Yes.
So.
And it looks
there's more than one?
cooler than the Iron Throne.
Did you say there's more than one throne?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a ton of thrones in the Game of Thrones. That's why it's the Game of Thrones.
There's at least 2.
Not the Game of Throne.
Be significantly
Game
lower.
of Thrones is what I play after Taco Bell.
Wait, I thought that this was the Games of Thrones.
Game of
porcelain
Porcelain
multiple
Throne.
games,
of
one
Throne?
throne. I don't know. I don't watch the show.
Oh, boo.
That reminds me of that customer at work that asked me if I liked Thorn, meaning Thor.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He put a fucking N at the end of it. It was great.
That's also the guy that would steal the pornos.
That is the porno stealing
Hey,
guy.
do you have that book Tolstoy by Anna Karenina?
That's making my head hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, people are dumb.
So one of the things I saw was definitely that we're going to see Casterly Rock. Yeah, which is cool because we have not seen that in the show yet.
No, they just talk about it all the time.
And it's absolutely getting invaded by the Unsullied, which is going to be fucking great.
Yeah.
Because it showed...
There was the clip of them attacking something. So.
Where a bunch of Lannisters were, and you could see like there was line work on the sconces and the big red... the red... It was a gold L against a red background. It's like, okay, that's Casterly Rock,
beautiful.
so that's getting taken. And fucking the last shot, of course, was just Drogon.
Yeah. Over top the fucking invading...
The Dothraki.
The Dothraki, and then he just comes out of nowhere because he's a fucking dragon and he can do that.
Yeah, dragons do that.
And did you guys see the there were also like still photos released, and so you saw where Drogon was on the field, like breathing fire, and how small Daenerys looks on top of him now.
But did you see the other photo of the Night King sitting on top of a dragon?
I did not.
That's a photo.
What?
I don't know. I don't know if it was official because I saw somebody shared it, and I didn't look into it any further. But
I did not see that as part of that whole official.
So it might be like fan art, and if it is, it looks fantastic. But
there's
I know
an ice dragon. I'm gonna shit my fucking.
That's
pants.
the only thing I could think of is that there's a fucking ice dragon.
Wow.
Or circumstantially, what if they turn one?
They kill one and then turn it into an army of the dead dragon. Yeah,
it's entirely possible because it's a living creature.
It's entirely possible that they have one from the previous.
Yeah, that's all
the Targaryens. But
so that was something that
I was
is like,
interesting.
That changes the fucking game.
It does.
Plus an ice dragon.
Plus an ice dragon.
Plus an ice dragon would just be the coolest fucking thing. Anyway.
If you're a fan of high fantasy, an ice dragon.
Yeah,
I still think right now, even if one of Daenerys' dragons gets turned, which I doubt it will, I think that Drogon is such a fucking powerhouse.
Oh yeah. No, he'll melt the ice dragon, but it'll be cool as shit to see.
And I don't think they can. I think they have to stick there are things within the books that, and they've alluded to in the show, that they're kind of bound to it, that there has to be the three dragons have to live because there are three people who have to ride them, and the theory right now is that it's got to be Daenerys, Jon, and Tyrion. That they're the three that they're going to all ride the dragons, but I don't know. And
the running theory, they cleared up. Two of them are confirmed as Targaryen. There's still an outside theory that Tyrion is a Targaryen.
It's possible
that they haven't gone through yet.
Right.
But there's also if you go back and just listen to things that are said to him, there's an outside chance that it's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Stuff that his father would say to him and shit, like, you're not my son, and that kind of thing. Which, it just sounded derogatory at the time, but then in context, it's like, oh shit, maybe for real that's not his kid?
Right.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So I'm really hoping that happens. It's one of those things for me that's a catch-22 because it's such a popular fan theory that as a creator, maybe they don't want to give it to you, but at the same time, it's the most obvious thing.
I think so, yeah.
But, and sometimes you just have to, if that's where your story is going, just service the fans.
Exactly. At that point,
well,
it would just be a big relief, like,
we knew it!
It's not just about servicing the fans, though. It's also what makes the most logical sense within the narrative and within the world that's been created.
And I think that it does.
The whole Jon is the son of Rhaegar and Lyanna. Like that, it made the most fucking sense.
Yeah, because
it just does.
If you look at the characterization of Ned, and then they kept that strong, he wouldn't have cheated on his wife.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that is in his characterization. Right. Even on his worst day, he was still the most noble man that lived.
Right.
And so that's not a thing that would have happened. No. It's just not possible.
Definitely.
So there was all of the circumstantial evidence where people were like, oh, well, this person said this and then this happened, but it's but also just in character building, it's not possible.
Absolutely. Back to the trailer, just so much fucking awesome shit. I love seeing Jon taking Littlefinger and basically almost strangling him up against the wall, just like Ned did in the first season.
Yep.
Question for, obviously not you, Jordan, since you don't watch it, but for you two guys who do, who do you think is, now of the characters that are left, the most evil? Cersei or Littlefinger? Because for me, it's a toss-up, you know?
I would still say Cersei.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Whoa.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
God.
Because Cersei isn't necessarily evil for the sake of being evil. She has now she's hell-bent on revenge and vengeance.
And she's quite possibly mad.
And she's
definitely
where
Littlefinger
Littlefinger literally has no claim to anything,
right?
And is pulling strings just to be an asshole, because he wants his end game to play out. So he's actual, like, she's within the Game of Thrones,
right?
Trying to win that game, and he's on the outside of the game board trying to nudge himself into it because he still thinks that there's a way that the dominoes fall that puts him in the fucking throne.
Right.
So to me, he's the most evil because he doesn't actually have a horse in the race, but he wants to be.
And he's
how sick
there.
and evil do you have to be to not be involved in that shit and then go, no, I want to be?
Right.
He has every opportunity to not be involved.
She's clearly murdered more people or been responsible for the deaths of more people.
Last season, I mean, she really upped her toll
of
there.
Course,
so
green fire.
Yeah. But he's also been responsible for the murder.
A lot of fucking people.
That's why I think it's a toss-up. I just wanted to put it out there to see where you guys stood, and I'm glad that I caused another rift between you two. That just makes me happy. They're both pursuing power in ruthless fashion.
Yeah.
They're like the Frank Underwood or the Donald Trump of our reality.
Gross.
But
well, never mind.
Yeah. Anyway,
doesn't matter.
Loved the trailer and loved the previous two trailers. Even the little teaser they had where it was like the stone. Well, first it was like the stone. Like came crumbling apart. I can't remember what the stone was. Was it all the four different the big four houses? The animals they came crumbling down. Yeah, God, that was awesome. But yeah, so July, right?
And
July 16th.
Awesome.
July's going to be a crazy month.
Fuck yeah.
They're all crazy months right now.
Oh, something I wanted to mention. I know we didn't, but the Netflix Castlevania series.
Okay.
That's also July.
Okay.
Any old school Nintendo fan, it gets you a little bit.
Oh, are you a Nintendo fan?
Maybe.
With the shirt you have on,
if our viewers could see.
Dog fart. Oh god,
he fucking looked. There's this running joke that every time you point at something on Andrew's shirt to point out that he has something on it, he won't look, but he'll freeze in place, and then after you remove your finger from his shirt, he will check again really quickly.
Just
he always does it. Anyway,
I'm wearing a Super Smash Brothers t-shirt.
Yeah, right. So the next thing on the slate here is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right. So we were talking about that last week, and after we talked about the fact that it was renewed, it came out that, yes, it has been renewed, but it's not going to premiere until mid-season because they're going to have Inhumans on for the first part of the season.
It's going to pick that up.
And it's going to pick up in the same slot as Inhumans, but that slot is not the Tuesday slot that it's been on.
Nope.
It's what we have come to terms as the Friday night death slot.
Yeah. Where
so many good shows have gone to die, unfortunately.
Is it 9 p.m. on Friday?
It is 9 p.m. on a Friday.
That is literally the worst time to air it. Or the best time if you want to just get something on TV.
It and the interesting thing, I think this might only be interesting to one of our friends of the show, Samantha, Once Upon a Time, for its last season, is getting moved to 8 o'clock on that Friday. So they put the last season for that in the Friday night death slot.
As well, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is in its last season, too.
Well, we don't know that.
Well,
but if they're putting it on
presumably
Friday night death slot, I don't think it's going to be around another season. We don't know. But
it's a Friday night life support.
The thing with that is, if it does really well and it gets renewed for another season, it won't be in that same time slot.
No.
Guaranteed.
I would hope
they
not.
Actually, with the CW a couple of years ago, they moved Supernatural to that time slot on a Friday night, thinking, oh, well, this is going to be the end, whatever. And then it went on to do like 3 more seasons at least. And it's still going. They're going into season 12 or 13 now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but it lasted 1 full season
in that
Friday
slot.
night in that time slot.
Oh, that's good.
what would DVR
So it
nowadays?
could go either way. So hopefully the writers and the production team and everyone kind of steps up their game and just goes full throttle with this, because this could very well be the last.
The only thing for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I see that with being a problem is that they can't have the edge they had this year at the 10 o'clock time. They have to kind of back off that edge being at 9 o'clock. So we'll see what happens, but it's not a good sign that they moved it to what is commonly known as the Friday night death slot, where so many great shows have gone to die. Shows like Firefly. So
speaking of dates being moved around, Disney announced
calendar talk.
Yeah, calendar talk with the PCSHC boys
on NPR.
Star Wars Episode 9 has officially been given a release date, and it is May 24th, 2019, which is a departure from Disney's December releases for Star Wars. There were a couple films that the article that I read listed as being released in that in December of that month, of that year. So they decided to, I guess, technically move it up, because it would have been December of that year, but they moved it up a full almost 9 months.
6 months.
6 months.
Ish. 6 or 7 months. Yeah. May has historically been the Star Wars
kickoff.
Month. Yeah. Well, the Star Wars month. I mean, that's when almost all the Star Wars movies came out. Mm-hmm. But starting with Force Awakens.
Speaking of, the 40th anniversary just happened a couple days ago.
Yep, just a few days ago on the 23rd. Or maybe it was the 25th?
25th.
But yeah, a lot of movies, a lot of the Star Wars, all the Star Wars movies before Force Awakens came out in May. So, it'll be interesting to have that back in May, and my theory for what it's going to be called, because it's building a sentence. Everyone thinks that the Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and I'm going to say with a hangover. So Star Wars Episode 9 with a hangover.
Man, that last one's going to take a weird turn.
Yeah. Ed Helms and Bradley Cooper is hungover Jedi.
Zach Galifianakis will be back.
Yeah, as
that baby,
Yoda.
All grown up.
As Rocket.
To be Luke Skywalker.
Right.
God damn it. So moving on? Moving on? Yeah, because that was a little thing.
Yeah. Got a lot of little things.
A couple little things. In the MCU, it is confirmed that Wonder Man exists.
Yes.
Simon Williams' Wonder Man exists.
Finally.
And he is, in canon, Nathan Fillion.
Yes, absolutely. So
they did it.
James Gunn confirmed this, because there had been reports as Guardians 2 was dropping that there was a deleted scene with Nathan Fillion as Simon Williams, and that in the MCU he would be playing the actor version of Simon Williams. And there was a whole deleted scene where you saw like a clip of him in a movie that was kind of, it looked like it was on the set of the Milano ship, and there was a Simon Williams festival, a film festival, and you saw
all of his films.
Of all of his films, like Rebecca and Archon.
Yeah.
And didn't he play Tony Stark in a Tony Stark biopic?
Yes.
The Steve Jobs-esque biopic, yes. So all those posters exist, and James Gunn said, yes, absolutely, it is canon. Simon Williams does exist. Here's hoping that we can see him in an MCU movie in the future. I really would. I'm so glad to see that he is Wonder Man, and that hopefully he will be Wonder Man.
Especially because Wonder Man would fuck up everybody.
And he looks exactly like fucking Wonder Man.
Yeah. Moving on from that.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
That's good news, though. But,
it was a quick
That's
hitter.
good news.
There's a couple quick hitters.
How are you doing? How are you?
How are you holding up?
We're all fine here.
We're about 18 minutes
How are you?
in. How are you doing?
We heard about what happened, and we are both happy.
And also, she's a bitch, and you don't have to take that shit.
Yeah. And you know what? He wasn't right for you anyway.
You know what? You go get some chamomile tea, put on the Great Mouse Detective, and we'll talk this out.
And fuck that job. You didn't need it.
I told you it was going to be a weird one. Fair warning right at the top, and then you kept listening. So
We've all had a lot of meat.
Beer.
it's gonna get a little weirder in Universal's universe.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Universal's dark universe.
Yeah, you're gonna have to turn down the lights a little to get this reference.
Dark universe of Universal Universe.
Dark.
Something.
Dark universe.
Dark
Dark
universe.
universe.
Do it.
Kiss me on the cheek.
I am the Senate.
They've announced Frankenstein's monster. They've announced Invisible Man, and it was already kind of known that this was a thing. But Russell Crowe is Dr. Jekyll.
Yes.
In the Mummy movie that is forthcoming in June.
Neat.
They've announced that Javier Bardem is playing Frankenstein's monster, and Johnny Depp is playing Invisible Man, which I don't know how he's going to do. Well, I mean, it's probably easier for him to read the cue cards off screen. Anyway,
you'll notice him from all of his accessories, his bracelets and scarves,
but they're just kind of floating about because he's invisible,
and his bleached.
But so far,
bleached asshole.
That's the only part that's not visible.
Do you think he's going to wear weird sunglasses?
I think that is without a question.
It's too iconic.
Yeah, it's just him now.
It's just going to be him wrapped up in bandages or just the sunglasses.
But I want to know in Invisible Man, who is Helena Bonham Carter playing?
God damn it.
Because he doesn't do acting without her.
And does he get to kill her?
Is Tim Burton directing?
Tim Burton's
And
Invisible Man in the Dark Universe.
Score by Danny
Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
I would go see that.
And you know what, Jordan? Tim Burton's counting on it. Because that's what his whole career's been. Anyway, they've said nothing of other notable characters from the classic Universal monster roster.
Right, like the giant spider.
The giant claw.
Arachneon. And
they've said nothing of staples of the Universal.
Staples?
The brain
what about
that,
Office Depot?
Like
the brain that wouldn't die.
Wolfman. Dracula.
Manos Hands of Fate.
Santa Claus versus the Martians.
As we just plumb the depths of Mystery Science 3000 now.
I'm trying as hard as I can, dude.
They haven't said anything about Wolfman. They haven't said anything about Creature from the Black Lagoon. And they haven't said anything about Dracula yet.
Yeah.
But those are absolutely iconic characters that have to be existing.
They're going to do that.
They're going to be CG.
They're going to hologram bring back Bela Lugosi. And he's actually going to be Dr. Frankenstein, who turns into Dracula.
Why would he?
I'm calling it here.
God damn it.
We have a 100% success rate.
As evidenced from our last episode. And for once, I'll be a little hesitant. I don't know about that one. I'm not willing to go full bore into that yet.
So Andrew has quoted here.
Yes.
That we're going to hologram Bela Lugosi
Andrew,
as Dr. Frankenstein, and then he becomes Dracula.
Andrew has his connections out in
L.A. See you guys on the West Coast.
As he snuck illegally onto the Warner Brothers lot.
It wasn't illegal, and I didn't go on the lot, Brian.
I just wasn't allowed to be there. So yeah, Universal's Dark Universe.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I can't wait for the Mummy.
I know.
It's
I was skeptical
it looks
at first,
legit terrifying,
but it looks it looks awesome.
And also, to clarify, it is not a reboot of Brendan Fraser's Mummy, correct?
No.
Well,
they do the sand face thing, but
they're not connected.
No. But so it is a reboot.
No,
yes,
it's a reboot of like the classic
like the brand.
Mummy. It's not.
Yeah, it's a reboot of the IP of the Mummy.
Yeah,
right, but
it's not a sequel.
No, because I keep
the old Boris Karloff mummies.
Yes,
yeah.
It's
just the Mummy.
Yeah, Boris Karloff.
It's not
right, but just
I know what you're saying, but it's not the Brendan Fraser one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but I keep seeing people I didn't think. Why are they rebooting The Mummy, meaning why are they rebooting that movie?
Right, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who never saw the old Mummy movies, and that's their Mummy.
Right.
So technically, it is rebooting all of the Mummy movies. So
Right.
yes, it's rebooting
Mummy
the Boris
movies.
Karloff one. It's rebooting the
Right.
Brandon Fraser one.
But it's not in the same vein as that film.
Doesn't look like it. No.
I just want to
that's
clarify
part of the reboot.
for
Like-
people who care that don't go to that theater expecting goofy Brendan Fraser hijinks.
Right, yeah.
That's
No,
not what that is.
Absolutely not.
A lot of people are going to die horribly in this movie. Let's put that out there.
And if you're watching the to be clear, if you're watching the trailer and you think perhaps it might be a reboot of the Brendan Fraser version of The Mummy,
It is,
no, of that version,
but
of
it's
that
not a sequel.
in that vein. I mean,
No, okay.
But that's like saying the Batman '89 is a reboot of Batman, '66. That movie. That's still technically considered a reboot, even though they're totally different.
I agree with
right?
that.
No, yeah, I understand. I just want to
Just
clarify
like
that
Batman Begins was a reboot of the
right.
everything that had come before.
It's not. It's just not.
Dumpster fires movies.
Don't look for goofy bullshit in it.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
that's not happening.
Okay.
It's going to be scary and it's going to be action packed.
But to be fair, a lot of people died horribly in the Brandon Fraser ones as well. So
Right.
just to say that,
Yeah,
yes,
but
it was goofy, but there was a lot of fucking horrible death.
But did those have Tom Cruise running at a camera?
No, they didn't.
This movie will.
And
in
if
spades.
you put that in your film, you will make $3 million.
Whoa! 3 million?
That's from the Scientology South Park
Oh,
episode. You and I stand to make $3 million.
Jesus Christ.
So we had dinner from
Elron!
across the street from a Scientology building. And
Elron, it's me, Tom!
Yeah. Another an actual reboot.
Yes.
In every sense of that.
Although we were talking about a reboot before.
Hellboy
Yeah.
is being rebooted.
Yeah, it's being rebooted hard.
Yeah, hard reboot on the
Hard.
Hellboy.
Hard reboot.
Hard reboot meaning it's rated R.
Mm-hmm.
And
Different
it's
director.
Different director, Neil Marshall of The Descent fame.
And Game of Thrones.
And Game of
He's
Thrones.
directed some Game of Thrones.
And a new actor in the role.
Playing the Boy of Hell.
David Harbour.
Harbor.
better known as
of Stranger Things.
Hopper.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, Hop.
not just of Stranger Things, but also of the Cable conjecture.
Yes. If you remember a few episodes ago, we prophesized perhaps he would be cast as Cable.
And we got that right. Because we have 100% on everything.
Yeah. So look
and
forward
they
to him as
decided
Cable.
against putting him as Cable, and then he was like, well, fuck you guys, I'll just go be Hellboy in the reboot.
Fucking right.
Which is sweet.
He's also in the DCEU.
Oh, yeah,
he
that's
is.
right.
Yeah.
Yes,
He was in Suicide Squad.
We literally did this last time we talked about David Harbour.
So, it's called Hellboy, Rise of the Blood Queen. So, it's unfortunate that it's another Rise of or Age of movie, which is just, there seems to be a endless supply of that.
Why isn't it just Hellboy Blood Queen?
Yeah.
Or
that's
Hellboy,
fine.
the Blood Queen. No, it's got to have Rise or Age.
Well, that would kind of imply
Dawn.
that it would kind of imply that then he is the Blood Queen.
How about Hellboy versus the Blood Queen?
Ooh.
Hellboy v. Blood Queen.
Bam.
Dawn of Blood Queen?
Dawn of the Rising of the Planet of the Apes.
No, you forgot War. Dawn of the Rise of the War of the Planet of the Apes. Yes.
And then Blood Queen.
Requiem.
So I wouldn't say I'm like a huge Hellboy fan, but I really do like the two movies that Guillermo del Toro put out, Hellboy and Hellboy the Golden Army, Hellboy 2 the Golden Army, that is.
Rise of the Golden Army.
Blood Queen.
No, I don't think it was. It might have. I don't know. I know Golden Army was part of the
Expansion of the Golden Army. Sorry.
Blood Queen.
Dawn of the Golden Army.
I've never seen any of them.
And it's War on the Rise.
I've never seen any of the Hellboy movies.
They're fun. They're fun movies.
Highly recommend them because they're a lot of fun, and the
I do love me some Ron Perlman, also
Perlman
of the Cable fame.
Ron Perlman makes those movies. He is Hellboy. He is Anung Rama. He's fucking amazing.
He was fantastic on Sons of Anarchy. Phenomenal.
I still need to see that.
He's phenomenal in everything he does. He was in Pacific Rim,
He was good.
He was the good character,
Yeah.
like the character that you were like, oh yeah, cool, he's
That's
awesome.
that guy,
yeah. Yeah, he's electric. You know, you just when he's on screen, you want to watch and you're like rooting for him and everything. I highly recommend it. They're both different movies, but they definitely lean more towards not really the horror, but more the action adventure, the paranormal. This movie, they're saying it's not only going to be hard R, it's going to be a very horror-esque slant for this new Hellboy. So that'll be an interesting thing. I'm really intrigued to see David Harbour as Hellboy.
I want to just see a costume setup of him just to see what it looks like.
I mean,
right off the top, you know what I mean?
Because Ron Perlman was such a comic accurate rendition of it, they have to do something wildly different to follow almost the tone of this movie.
When I see the covers at work, or when I see covers of Hellboy just on comics in general, I just always think like, oh, dude, that looks just like Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
And then like I can't even tell if they do that because of that, or if that's what he always looked like, and Ron Perlman just looked straight up like the fucking cartoon.
It's because they have great makeup and they made him look just like the comic. Yeah.
Well, it's great. And the comic always had a really weird style too.
Yeah.
So I guess it could. Not Ron Perlman. Fuck it. Ron Perlman's Hellboy.
David Harbour.
Yes.
Harbour. And I liked him a lot in Stranger Things. I thought he was great, but I don't know. I haven't really seen him in anything else. I don't know his action horror chops.
Oh, well, Andrew, I don't know if you knew this, but he's actually in the DCEU.
I haven't seen Suicide Squad.
He was in Suicide Squad, so...
But he was... Did you also see him in Stranger Things?
I just said... Moving on.
What, you don't want to talk in circles?
No, because we have already... Oh, actually, we only have 30 minutes. We
could. Around in circles.
We could talk for another, 15 minutes about this.
Circles, as in... God damn you.
Sorry, did I sneeze on you?
No. Okay. Speaking of things that go in circles, maybe perhaps like a whirlpool, or of something of the aquatic translation,
like the washer and dryer.
I'm looking at Rob like, where the fuck are we going with this? Like some sort of maelstrom at sea?
Yes.
Wow.
What
could ever do such a thing?
The aquatic humanoid that lives in the ocean.
Oh, okay, Namor.
Yeah.
Imperious Rex.
No, not Namor.
Although he and Beta Ray Bill may be in the MCU.
Right. Anyway, so we're talking about Aquaman.
I know.
The Aquaman.
And the forthcoming Man of Aqua movie. The H2O Man.
So there were a couple things...
Oh, wait, no, that's a Spider-Man villain.
There were a couple things that released over the last week or two.
There's been a lot coming from the set.
Set photos confirm that Amnesty Bay is in the film.
Yep, big location.
The location, the comic book, the costumes are comic book accurate.
Absolutely. That
mirror,
spot on.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Also, Amber Heard once again just.
Yeah, she is. She is very good looking.
She's a very handsome woman.
You're also not giving her enough credit for being intelligent, Andrew.
And you didn't say how funny she was, Andrew. So, woman can be attractive and smart and funny. Andrew.
I would like to insert
check your privilege.
The gif of the mask at the table when he first sees Cameron Diaz.
Does the wolf? Yeah. The tongue rolls out.
Oh, yeah. She looked good.
Grabs his shoe and just beats himself over the head. Yeah, and then there's been merchandise that has already been shown. It's like a maquette. Like a sculpture of and I'm blanking on his name. Khal Drogo.
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and it's the really it looks kind of comic book accurate in Justice League. This is like straight up like the green, the gold, the orange.
Oh, okay.
It looks fucking great.
What I imagine is that's the official Atlantean colors,
right?
So it might explain why he's not technically wearing them in Justice League, because he's quote at war or something. He could even be outcasted. I don't know. That's a good point.
He's on the surface world.
Whereas when he's underwater, maybe it brings the colors of the outfit out.
Or it's just, because he's of both worlds and they haven't accepted. It could be they haven't accepted him yet.
It's not it, Andrew.
No, because I know that the orange. the orange chainmail is like the official Atlantean armor. Like you'll expect to see other Atlanteans wearing those colors.
Yeah,
and that's how they retconned how fantastical those colors were.
Right.
They are bright colors.
Yes,
that Aquaman.
I'm very excited for like all of the underwater scenes.
Yeah, because
in that like clip that they released a little while ago, like the cell phone video or whatever, it looked amazing.
Yeah, of him like just floating, and he kind of looked like a seahorse.
Like he like swam up.
Yeah, and they have these huge fucking tanks that they've been.
Yeah,
it's going to be really.
There's
cool.
a massive. If you see the set photos, there's this massive blue screen, and then there is a tremendous, tank of water, and they're doing all of the stuff from that. At least for the Amnesty Bay shit that I saw. Yeah. So I was just like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Because that is
they're going all out.
Yeah. So
it reminded me of looking at the Man of Steel, the behind the scenes stuff for that. Like they had some huge tanks that they were working with for their underwater stuff. But this is going to be on an even bigger scale because it's Aquaman. You know. Also, then the villain, or not the villain, but one of the, I guess maybe the army that the bunch of disposable, expendable guys that Aquaman's going to be facing is quite possibly the Trench.
Yeah, they are going to be terrifying brought to life.
I hope so.
Yeah, they were scary designed to begin with.
Absolutely,
and that's going to be awesome.
When I read New 52 Aquaman Volume 1, they were fucking They're a lot. They look like piranhas almost.
They look like anglerfish with legs. Legs.
Okay. Yeah.
And mixed with piranha. Yeah.
They're like the teeth and shit. Yeah.
Horrific sea creature. Yeah. Just make that. Yeah. You know?
There was a great Kumail Nanjiani tweet from about a year or two ago where he said that what he got around to was basically that the ocean is where God puts all of his mistakes.
Yes. I agree with that.
He's like, let's give it suction cups. Ugh! To the sea with you.
That's a great fucking joke. But, because the reports are that there is going to be, like, a large number of adversaries, and the descriptions they gave it's got to be the Trench. They're gangly, all that shit. So.
But it's great because they've confirmed and casted Black Manta that we talked about here.
Yep. And Ocean Master.
And Ocean Master we talked about in the same episode.
We have not. I don't know if we talked about Dolph Lundgren as King Nereus.
No.
But he is cast as King Nereus.
So the cast is really good.
Yeah.
And it's really gonna set up a future for Aquaman films in that, Ocean Master might not be like his main adversary, obviously. They might even show them on good terms.
Right. Much like what Doctor Strange did with Mordo.
Yeah. And then have that turn towards the end where for the next one he's got to deal with a fucking Ocean Master. Yes. So that's exciting.
I just think it's cool they're actually starting off a movie with like someone's arch rival.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to go
so they don't kill him.
I hope they don't kill all.
You don't have to go through a shit villain to get to like other villains that you want to see.
Yeah.
And then like maybe the film doesn't do so well, so then they're like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna make a sequel because it didn't do well. And it's like, but you didn't put the A team in.
Yeah.
You put the fucking B team down.
I didn't come here to see Ironmonger.
Dun, dun. Hey, fuck you! I liked Ironmonger.
I did too.
Obadiah Stane. Jeff Bridges fucking killed.
He was
killed
great.
That role.
It was
That
great.
was fucking great.
Tony Stark did this in a cave.
Dude, fucking. Andrew was like, "Here's an unpopular opinion. I'm going to shit on Iron Man."
I mean, I liked Iron Man. I just wanted to see him fight, not Iron Man.
That's fucking awesome. Anyway, speaking of people that you want to see fight, but you probably won't. They casted somebody to play Venom. We talked about Venom.
Yeah,
the Venom
cast,
film. Who did they?
That there, Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy.
Are we all going to do it?
What if he does the voice?
That's just his acting voice now.
He fucking cannot do that.
What if that's Venom's
really
voice?
Maybe he has somewhere in his contract for all of his movies that he's totally against doing the voice.
Well, I'm gonna explain my stance. I'm gonna explain my stance in just a second because there is breaking news
on The Voice or
on the entire Venom Sony thing.
Oh, okay.
Because there's breaking news that just came out today that there's already another movie being planned by Sony called Silver and Black, where they're going to have Silver Sable and Black Cat in the same movie. They're going to be the headliners of that movie. But they're also planning on throwing in almost every other character from the Spider-Man property that they can, so that the MCU can't basically use it. So here's I'm going to just read this quote. Quote, here are some details about the story. 7 years after Mendel Strom, a.k.a. Robot Master, and his two henchmen, the Scorpion and the Tarantula, killed her father, Silver Sable is hired by the government to find Felicia Hardy. The Black Cat, a master hacker and thief, has apparently stolen valuable secret information. She's hiding in the lawless and dangerous triple frontier area between Paraguay, Argentina, and Brazil. Once there, Sable will ask her old contract Dmitry Smerdakov, a.k.a. the Chameleon, to locate her, but it seems the government are not the only ones looking for Black Cat. It seems Felicia has made a deal with Strom to save her father from a Russian prison, and she's been genetically enhanced. Now the mad scientist wants his prized experiment back because his financier, cough cough Norman Osborn cough, wants a return on his investment. The source also claims that Dominic Fortune, Jessica Drew, a.k.a. Spider-Woman, Roxanne Oil, Sergei Kravinoff, Kraven the Hunter, Lonnie Lincoln Tombstone, and Charles Standish all make appearances in the movie. And there is no reference to Peter Parker or Spider-Man in any of this shit, including the Venom movie. So, right now, my hands are being washed of the entire Sony, what do they call it? Sony Marvel Universe, SMU. I'm done.
I guess.
Fuck them. Fuck Venom. I'm sorry. I love Venom as a character. Tom Hardy probably is going to do a great job as Venom. I'm never going to see it because they're never going to fucking talk about Spider-Man. And now with this the Silver and Black, where they're going to shoehorn in almost every fucking character they can, just so the MCU can't use it. Fuck them.
It sounds.
Yeah, but we got Vulture. So
we do.
They
didn't use Mysterio. They didn't list Mysterio here, so maybe we got him.
Mysterio.
The description of that sounds like if we just put Spider-Man villains in place of all of the characters in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet at the end of the movie?
It's like they're all just hanging off of the machines as they drive in whatever desolate wasteland you discussed, and then they're all just like, we gotta stop Felicia, and she's just kind of standing there with like her little cat claws. Like, can you not lock this woman down? But she's one woman that kind of is feline-esque.
Oh,
she's not like a superhuman.
There's gonna be a scene at the end where she's like, "Oh my god, it's Mysterio and Dr. Octopus and the Sandman."
No. She wakes up at the end, and it was all a dream. But she starts pointing to all the villains in the room and saying, "But you were there. Show them. You were there. Show them."
And just a big tag just goes, "Not you. Not for you, MCU. Not for you, MCU." Yeah.
That sounds like a
not
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man wasn't there. And then they all go, "Who?" Like,
wow, I can't believe that Mysterio did that.
They wouldn't actually be able to use the word, so it would just be bleeped. But beep wasn't there.
I like the idea that somehow Spider-Woman exists.
Well, she's not even. She's probably just Jessica Drew. She's just a random person with no power.
My hope.
Excuse me, Jessica Drew, your order's ready, and they just pan across.
I hate to say this. My hope is that this is just putting feelers out to see what reaction is, and I'm sorry to say it, I hope the Venom movie fails horribly, so that they cannot go forward with this planned Sony Marvel
Sonyverse.
Yeah,
I will.
Fuck that.
I will make a pact with the four of you and all 30 of our listeners in saying that I will not go see Venom in theaters.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
I will most likely watch it at home.
Hey, that's
whenever
fine.
it's released.
I mean,
in whatever way it's released.
Look,
I won't even. Depending on how the release goes, I won't even purchase the Blu-ray.
Right.
I'll either Redbox it, Netflix it, or whatever fucking Sony's thing is.
I'll just do what I did with World War Z. I'll wait till it's on Netflix, watch it, and be like, meh.
Yeah.
Wow, they fucked that up. Huh?
Because if and that's always what we say about everything is vote with your dollars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And if you want Venom to be paired up with Spider-Man, don't go see Venom.
Yeah.
As much as Tom Hardy is
Awesome.
Badass.
The crown jewel of who you would want to play ostensibly Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
As Venom, not connected to Spider-Man, it's not worth it. It doesn't make sense.
Point.
It doesn't make sense because where does Venom get all of the abilities of fucking Spider-Man?
And where's the fucking conflict? What are they going to have him fight?
Was he just getting the meteor and then bam, he's the symbiote?
I don't like the idea of Venom, like Eddie Brock Venom, being like an anti-hero. Like, I'm totally against that shit.
Yeah.
I don't like Harley Quinn as a hero. I don't like Venom as a hero because it doesn't fucking work.
They're not here, but
he's got to be a villain. He's a Spider-Man villain for a reason. So taking Spider-Man out of the equation doesn't make Venom a good guy.
Yeah,
right.
I agree. And then Eddie Brock, like other Venoms, I can see being an anti-hero, or like Venom Space Knight being an outright hero.
Or wasn't Flash Thompson
Flash
was
Thompson,
yeah. He was Agent
and
Venom,
I would be okay saying, "Oh, well, this would be cool if this was a Flash Thompson like Agent Venom movie."
Dude, if they made an Agent Venom movie, that'd be fucking interesting.
That would be cool
because that is outside of the realm of Spider-Man.
I agree. Yeah,
and they could reference Spider-Man. They could say like, "Yeah, this all happened." But this is what's going on now with the symbiote.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that because that's not, in their mind, that's not guaranteed money. In their mind, they use the character of Eddie Brock and Venom together. That's getting the geeks. That's getting asses in the seats.
I mean, because we were all initially like,
yeah, suck my jag on.
Fucking Kaglanians. When they announced this initially, we were all kind of off about it.
Yeah.
Casting Tom Hardy puts such a conflict in my head now. Because, like, he's gonna be fucking awesome as that character.
I just watched Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy on Netflix right after this news broke. I think it was maybe the day it broke. And I was like, and in that he plays a spy. And I was like, I just could see that. I was like, well, I can see Eddie Brock in him. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah.
And a quick aside to the comic books, because I'm reading Venom's current run now.
And Eddie Brock's back as Venom.
Eddie Brock is back, and they brought him back at the end of issue 5 because he's the only person on the government's symbiote task force. Mm-hmm. And then he's got to try to track down the guy that is currently Venom.
Is it still Matt Gargan? I haven't read
No. It's a new guy. His name was Lee Price, and he was like an army ranger, but he's like a complete.
Oh, that's right.
He's like a complete psychopath.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're getting another Carnage.
Well, so he was using the symbiote was fighting with him, but he was so strong mentally because of being in the army that he was able to bend the symbiote to his will as opposed to the other way around. And the symbiote wanted nothing to do with it because the symbiote has experienced all of the other Venoms, so it's been a hero. Yeah. So it knows what that feels like and wants to do that again. And then it sees Spider-Man and trusts Spider-Man because it's like, he's a hero. Yeah. I want to be like that guy. Can we be like that guy again? So the government uses Eddie Brock as bait, basically, to get the symbiote to come to him, and then they trap it. And then Eddie Brock turns at the end of issue 6, breaks the guard's neck that's defending it, and takes the fucking suit and leaves. And they're like, holy shit, where's the symbiote? Brock was the last one here. And that's where that fucking issue ended.
Nice.
And then it's like, it's him in it, and he's just like, we're back, baby! And then it just fucking... And I was like, dude, this is the coolest shit ever. That's awesome. I bought issue 7, but
that's the way to bring back a fucking...
Absolutely. Because issue 7 is Venom 150. It's the 150th issue of Venom, and now they brought it back to Eddie Brock at 150.
Nice.
Which I can only think of was the goal in that arc.
Yeah.
Was to go, okay, we want you to give it to this guy, and then we want you to bring Eddie Brock in for 150. Because now... the issue that I haven't read yet, issue 7, technically 150, is he's Venom at the beginning of the book.
Okay.
So it's right back to the beginning, essentially.
Cool.
Which is like the coolest way, because I didn't see it coming. So when you see Eddie Brock at the end of issue 4, it's a shock, and then you know he exists in issue 5.
Sony, that's the way to handle Venom. If you listen to us, please handle Venom that way.
Well, Amy Pascal might have stopped listening to us when we told her she was a cunt earlier.
Well, maybe Avi Arad is listening. I don't know.
Is he a cunt?
He's a cunt too.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't mention his name, and we're gonna move on.
Okay.
All right.
Because I can't even talk about Avi Arad.
Triggered.
So all that happened, and then something else happened that was a bit tragic.
More than a bit. Fucking ridiculously tragic.
Yeah.
Hard turn into sad town.
Yeah.
Here, Zack Snyder, the
Director.
the embattled director of. And pretty much executive producer and all around go-to guy for DC's extended universe.
Right.
He's directing Justice League. I believe they're done principal photography.
Yes.
Yeah.
Principal photography had been done.
But he had to relinquish his role as director because his daughter and his wife is also. An executive producer as well,
yes.
Deborah Snyder or Deborah.
Yes.
I don't know how you want to pronounce
Deborah, I think.
Deborah.
She's an executive, so they put their life's blood into doing Justice League together and Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Their daughter committed suicide 2 months ago, and he thought when it happened that he could throw himself into the movie and busy himself and not have to think about it, but he has recently stepped down as director,
right?
Because he can't. He's got to be with his because they have. I think they have. I don't want to get the number wrong. They have like 7 other children.
Yeah,
of varying ages.
Yeah,
together.
They've got a big family, but still.
Well, not.
No. I know. That's not what you're saying.
Yeah, they got to get together as a family.
Yeah,
and totally understandable.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure I speak for everyone with our deepest condolences.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's horrific.
It's horrific. Yeah.
And these are just movies.
They are.
And
that of course doesn't stop people from being complete and total twats on the internet.
Oh yeah, what's going to happen with the movie? It's like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was also like,
those movies sucked anyway.
Yeah. It's like completely picking the wrong time to bring that shit up.
It's like, dude, I mean, we've talked about it before, but the man's fucking daughter is like, go fuck yourself.
It's a similar. It's
we can talk about his movies separate from the fact that his daughter's dead. Okay, yeah.
It's not. It's not the same exact thing, but it's a similar conversation to when Carrie Fisher passed away.
Yeah,
and we were not immediately wondering what they were going to do because obviously. You want to reference and think about her and her career and her life.
Right, no, but your immediate
But at the same time you go, well, what happens with what she was working on?
Right.
So that's kind of what happened with Zack Snyder. And recently, DC had announced, Warner Brothers had announced, that they were going forward with a Batgirl film that was going to be written and directed by Joss Whedon.
Yep. And Joss had actually, even before... even before this happened, Joss had been brought in to help do reshoots.
Yeah,
for Justice League,
and I think he was. I think he had expressed interest of his own volition of getting involved in DC's universe in some way.
Yeah,
He said he wanted to do Batman.
Yeah. I knew there was something where he was like, "Yeah, I would do DC or in a heartbeat or whatever." So I guess Warner Brothers had to have a really, really awkward. Phone conference where they asked Joss, "Hey, I know you're writing Batgirl and you're thinking about that, but can you finish up Justice League?"
Yeah.
So Joss Whedon is co-direct, essentially.
I'm sure it's going to be a co-direction.
He's picking up where Zack Snyder left off on the film for what is presumably reshoots and post-production.
Yeah.
And
so, like you said, Robert, to me the other day, Joss is going to be that guy that everyone goes to for the final say and stuff. So it's going to be like, which color palette do you prefer in this shot? Yeah. Does this look okay digitally? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be It's not like they're still shooting the movie and he's like,
No.
okay, we're changing this ending completely.
Right.
It's no longer this villain. It's going to be this villain. Like,
yeah,
no,
it's way past that situation.
It's not it's not necessarily in the can, but it's mostly in the can.
Yeah. He basically he has to it's on the green and he has to just tap it in.
Right. Just give it a tap,
and so it's gonna be weird because we're not getting a Joss Whedon movie. We're getting a Zack Snyder movie through Joss Whedon's eyes.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. And it's not the point, but I really hope that it doesn't. As you're watching it, I really hope that there's not a clear like, oh, that's a Joss thing.
I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be that.
I think the
script is the script.
It is, and I'm sure he's going to at least have a level of respect for Snyder's work,
right?
You know what he's done,
right?
With it, so.
I don't think because it's beyond directing in a sense where he could say no, say it this way or try this line. It's past that. But if there are reshoots to do, there's a chance that he injects himself enough to where you go, that line's kind of weird.
I don't think Joss Whedon would do that.
No. I'm not saying that he would.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that there's a chance that when you're basically what I'm trying to do is front load an excuse for the film.
Right.
If it gets weird or there's a weird tonal shift and you go, what happened here?
Right.
That's what it is.
I still don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen, and I hope that it doesn't.
Right.
But there's an outside chance that
it could.
There's a situation where you go, well, that seems strange,
Yeah,
and that would be a difference in direction because that's how important that is.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they wouldn't have brought him on if he didn't understand where this was headed and what it was supposed to look like.
And again, he was brought on before this happened, so he was already
consulting.
He was already well invested.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he and Zach had a lot of talk.
Yeah.
You know, they have, I would assume, a pretty big mutual respect between each other. Like, you know, they both helmed huge fucking movies for the genre.
It would be interesting to be a fly on the wall for a conversation of theirs about just about anything. Stronger into anything about this. It'd be fucking incredible. But yeah, so obviously thoughts and prayers to Zack Snyder and his family.
It's just like such a disheartening thing.
Yeah.
Like when I read that initially, I felt horrible.
Yeah,
because I have such respect for Zack Snyder in the first place, and then for something like this to happen, nobody should have to deal with that.
Right.
And I'm going to take a little bit page out of the bitter book. I'm just going to say, if anyone's listening and you had the thought when that happened, like, ha, that fucking director sucks, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know,
you.
Just fucking stop listening to us right now. We don't want your patronage.
Yeah.
We'll do fine with our 29 listeners,
I read
right?
enough, I read enough comments when that story broke that I was just fucking rage-filled.
Yeah, there was... I know I saw one, and I don't even really want to...
you don't want to give it...
I don't even want to give it light, but it was to the effect of, I wonder why she did it. That kind of thing.
See, that's fucked up.
And that's the kind of shit that the anonymity on the internet provides you.
Yeah, it's just
but you would never say to a father's face, a family's face when their fucking daughter kills themselves.
It's a bunch of fucking 14-year-old edgelords that are trying to be like, oh, I'm going to comment on this on the internet, lol, fuck you.
Yeah. Three edgy 5 me. So,
3 edgy.
So anyway, Joss Whedon, we're glad that Justice League is, going forward in capable hands as well.
Yeah,
and
I was going to say
Zack Snyder.
If ever,
Godspeed, man.
If ever there were capable hands, what better person to pass that off to than the guy who helmed fucking Avengers
and Age of Ultron?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And Buffy.
And shout out to Buffy
and Angel and Firefly and Dollhouse and there's a lot. He's done a lot of great shit. And Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Yeah. It's a bit of a turn there, but
my sister met him once.
Yeah,
she met him at the restaurant she was working at. So he was a really nice guy.
He seems like a super nice guy.
He was just like a regular dude, and you wouldn't know that he's such a fucking genius. He's just like, oh hey.
Yeah, he and Zack Snyder both operate on such a high mental level when they're talking about film and comic books because
Right.
they're such fans
Right.
of it, as well as I get to make this shit for a living.
Yeah.
That it like the like you wouldn't even probably process what they're saying because there's like
Right. Yeah.
and they just understand one another.
It's all thought.
Really. It's like Brainiac and
Stream of conscious.
yeah.
Stream of consciousness. Sorry. So.
But
Speaking of Brainiac,
Yeah. Speaking of Brainiac, he was the
is that
big bad of a game that we've been talking about at least. How many times have we mentioned it on the show? 4,
at least 3.
3 or 4 times.
and how excited we all were.
I think conservatively we mentioned it a dozen times.
And we were talking about roster updates and potential rosters for Injustice 2.
And
that
potential Foster's beer and... Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry.
and it released on the 16th of May or the 15th. I don't remember. Jordan.
I think it was the 16th.
Okay.
It was a Tuesday.
Yeah. So we got ours and immediately started playing it. It's phenomenal.
It's so
Love
much
it.
fun.
I actually still haven't finished the story because I've branched off into the extra settings and stuff in like the multiverse and all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
the ladders.
The story. So the story mode. I finished the story mode in a technical sense because I got to the end of it and I got the credits. But then when I got back to the main screen, it said that I did 67% of the story. So I don't know what's going on there. My assumption is that because you get to choose which at certain points there's characters grouped up in the story and you get to choose which character you want to fight as.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that I'd have to go back and play it and pick the opposite people to get 100%.
I would think so.
That's cool replayability.
Yeah. Because I pretty much Canary and Green Arrow obviously were teamed up with one another.
Yeah.
And I picked Canary, I think 2 out of 3 times. I was like, let me be Oliver once. But Canary was a lot of fun to play as.
You were Oliver what?
Twist.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see that coming. It was like a twist in itself. Anyway. But yeah, the story mode's fucking fantastic. It's, in my opinion, it's not as good as the first one, but it's not because of anything that they did. It's just when you continue that story, that's what the sequel of that would be, and it's just like, okay. You know, it was fun, but then it kind of just ended.
For Injustice 3, they come out.
I don't know. I mean, I'm probably
in like 4 years.
But like, how much
further
into this
they
can
have
we go?
the comic going on right now. I'm pretty sure that's the prequel comic to it.
Yeah.
That leads in, but it's eventually, I think, going to take place after, because they basically covered
everything.
the prequel. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
so in one of the game modes, other than the story, because it's created by Netherrealm, who did Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is notorious, and any fighting game really. Mortal Kombat more because they called it the Tower.
Oh, okay.
Where you would just go through fighting 10 AI characters until the big bad, and then you get the end credit story thing for that character specifically.
Right.
And then you go back to the beginning, pick another character, do it again.
Right.
They changed that up for this. They came up with a mode called Multiverse. And there are different planets, like different Earths. And
I watched something. I watched a little video about this.
So you pick one, and then you pick which challenge within it, and then you get like a couple characters in a row that you have to fight against, and then you get rewards for doing the whole. Like if you beat all of the challenges on one planet, you get a reward, and that kind of thing. So it's the same concept, but just done in a different way that changes it up a little bit.
That's cool.
And it's really cool too with the multiverse thing because different events will pop up randomly, and it could be open for a week or it could be open for a 20-minute window.
Yeah. Like
So-
things will pop up, and then you'll get like if you beat it in that 20-minute window, because that'd be like a mega exclusive one that you have to catch
I would
at the
think
right
so,
moment.
to do
So you'll get a
in 20
reward.
minutes.
You'll get a reward for it and shit
Nice.
like that. So it's really
Yeah.
neat.
So it's like every week there's different, like there's new objective ones that just pop up.
Yep. So it's
I
it's
know
fun.
next weekend they just announced that there's going to be a new event based around Wonder Woman, and
Right.
it showed the Wonder Woman character in the game in basically the skin from the movie.
Oh,
sweet.
nice.
Fuck yes.
So
She's
and
a
it,
cool
it
costume
said like
movie.
coming next
Like-
week, Wonder Woman week in Multiverse. So I'm assuming you're going to have a challenge and a ladder, and you have to clear it. And once you do that, you unlock
That skin.
the Wonder Woman movie skin,
Oh, that's
which
fucking dope.
I am all about
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
for like getting different skins for like movies and stuff like that. I think that's the coolest thing.
That's awesome.
I love that in fighting games when it's not just a palette swap, when it's a
And-
full different skin.
So then you know they're going to do for Justice League later in the year.
Oh.
So who are you gonna get?
Yeah.
Flash, Cyborg, Batman,
Aquaman.
Jason
Aquaman.
Momoa,
Yeah.
and
Superman,
Dope.
Dope.
Flash.
Yeah.
Jason, yeah,
God damn.
Flash, Batman.
So all four of
Cyborg.
us have played it.
Yes.
Now Brian and Andrew got some time in before we recorded here.
Yes.
Not a whole lot, but enough
Not
to
a
form an
whole-
opinion on
sure,
the fighting
sure.
mechanics. So, yes.
So I'll just go around the room because this is always a really interesting question in a fighting game. Who's your favorite character to play as? Jordan.
Blue Beetle,
Okay.
Good choice. He was
which
fun.
which actually took me by surprise because last game it was like Nightwing and Flash,
Yeah.
and this year it's still Flash, but I played as Blue Beetle, and for some reason I was just like, holy shit, he's so much fun to play as.
He really, dude, 100% agree. He's fucking amazing. Brian.
So, I had a lot of ease using Black Canary and Green Arrow, but I think my favorite character playing so far is Flash.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun to play as him.
Andrew.
I think my favorite character to play as I really liked Black Canary. And Flash. I didn't get to play all the characters yet, but I really liked Black Canary, Flash, and for Heavy I really liked Darkseid.
Okay.
Darkseid. Ugh. Yeah, Darkseid was awesome.
Dark Sid.
My favorite character to play as, it was the first character that I played when I turned the game on. And then I've played with him on a bunch of the different multiverse challenges and things like that. Swamp Thing. Above and beyond.
Yeah.
Like, fun as fuck to play as.
He's really weird and floaty, but
He's very
fun.
floaty. It's fucking awesome. He's got a lot of real heavy moves.
You wouldn't. It's such a weird combo with being very floaty and light, but having such a powerhouse
Yeah.
attacks.
A lot of fun to play as Swamp Thing, and then I keep finding myself playing as Blue Beetle also.
Dude, you kick ass
Yeah.
with Harley Quinn too.
Yeah, I was going to say, you play a lot of Harley.
Yeah, Harley. They made Harley quite possibly the most accessible character to play as.
She the Ryu.
Yeah, I would, dude. Honestly, I would say so because like
No, she's the Gweel.
she's
the
Her-
Glacius.
her because each character has an ability that you can unlock when you hit for the Xbox it's the B button, and hers is she just throws a treat and one of her hyenas comes out of nowhere and knocks down the opponent
Because he's such a good boy.
because he's such a good boy.
Because they're good boys.
And that's a really simple one because there's some like with Swamp Thing, his character ability is that he spreads the garden of I forget what the chick's name is.
At his
Ashley, something like
his
that.
lady Abby. No, it's not. Fuck, Abigail.
Abigail, Garden of Abigail. So he spreads that. So basically, when anywhere that the character walks before he takes damage, the opponent, if they get into that, they can't jump, or do any strong moves out of.
Is that what that does?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, but it's really hard to work.
Yeah.
Well, you just bitch slap them away and then...
Yeah, and then you have to hit the button, and then you have to kind of cover some ground, and then back up a bit so they have to come through it, and then you could just start range attacking the shit out of them. Because they can't get out of it. Because they can't dash or jump out of that.
Damn, that's awesome.
And then, like, Aquaman's ability is he gets wet.
Yeah, that was
that was in the first one, so he gets more agile and mobile, and he gets up quicker.
And he's very, very turned on, and one of us had to say it, and very susceptible to
electricity,
penises entering him.
Not that there's a problem with that.
No, yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever floats your boat.
And his biggest, forget it. Fucking go. Stop. I'm done.
So
It's been a long day.
So Harley's special move is that.
I'm really excited.
So she's really accessible. She's really easy to button mash with. If you don't necessarily know what you're doing, her moves are all kind of fun, and they did that on purpose.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying. Like they were like, oh, this character's gonna move units by herself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Suicide Squad definitely
not to mention
upped Harley's notoriety.
Yeah,
in the mainstream.
People loved her, but it is at an all-time high right now.
People love Harley Quinn. I agree, but I agree with Rob that in
Suicide Squad enhanced
upped her game.
Yeah.
So that's not right. Not her game. Just upped her stock.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good.
Way up. Stock's way up on Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Sell now.
So they really went with that because they knew that there would be people that don't really play fighting games.
Casuals.
That are just going to be like,
filthy
I
casuals.
want to play as Harley Quinn. That's it.
Yeah, they're filthy casuals.
Yeah, whatever if you want to call them that. Sure.
I've taken some time to play as everyone in the game so far, and everyone's really unique, and it's fun to play as like the random people. Like I enjoy playing as like Poison Ivy and Captain Cold. Like
I like playing
and
as
even
Captain
Grodd.
Cold.
Like they're just so much. They're so different from one another.
Andrew
so when
hated...
you put two together, it's.
Yeah, Andrew hated playing as Grodd.
I wanted to like him so much, but I got like 3. I can't fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm normally really... Fighting games are the games I'm the best at. And I couldn't fucking get my... Brian, what do you...
And yet Brian beat Andrew every single match today.
No, I beat you as Darkseid.
Yeah, at the end.
Sorry. Every match but one.
Yeah. And then they gave the controller to me, and then had to play hot potato.
And then I lost repeatedly to Robert.
No, it's almost as if Rob owns the game. Yeah, fucking...
Yeah, Robert
beat Rob twice.
A tough one to play.
I'm a tough person to play in a fighting game. Just saying.
Because he's just so fucking good.
Play some Smash Brothers, play some Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Play some Street Fighter. Let's do it. You're gonna have a PCSH Headcannon tournament.
What is the?
I don't fucking know what it is.
PCS.
PCSHCS.
HC.
When I got married the night before, Jordan actually went out and got the Game of the Year edition Injustice #1 for Xbox 360.
Nice.
We brought an Xbox to the hotel room.
Nice.
And because we did the superhero shirt thing.
Yeah.
Everybody had
basic bro.
Yeah, totally. I don't give a fuck. Everybody had their own character from DC specifically. We didn't cross universes like all those other pieces of shit.
They don't fucking know, you filthy casuals.
What a bunch of jerks.
What a bunch of basic bros.
Hashtag filthy casuals. So we went and we created a bracket basically for everybody to play. And we went through, and it got down to me and my brother Tommy and myself. He was Green Lantern, and I was Batman. And in the original game, Batman was not my choice character because he did a lot of defensive shit.
I like Batman in the first game.
He did a lot of defensive stuff. I don't like that. I like constant hard-hitting offense. You got to keep going. I don't like all that parrying shit.
Man Bat was probably the offensive one in that game.
I really wish that Man Bat was in one of these.
That'd be dope.
I think. Well, it looks like Didn't you say that they're probably going to have Captain Marvel as a DLC? Or Shazam as a... No, fuck it, Captain Marvel.
Who?
That's what I was thinking.
Shazam.
Because I was
Carol Danvers?
looking back at that DLC 1 trailer that they released.
Yep.
And I was trying to think.
The first DLC that comes out, which I really wish I knew when, because I don't. But the first DLC that comes out is Starfire,
That'll be interesting.
Red Hood,
And Sub-Zero.
and Sub-Zero.
Also, check it out. Jim Lee did the concept art for Sub-Zero, and it looks fucking awesome. Because it's Jim Lee drawing
Yeah.
Sub-Zero. I mean, come on.
Jim Lee can draw a mountain of shit.
Jim
And I'd
Lee-
be like, dude, it looks fantastic.
Jim Lee could draw the fucking phone book.
Yeah.
And it would be the most epic shit you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Aaron A. Abramson. Holy fuck.
Oh, is that Jim Lee? That's a Jim Lee.
So then another question about Injustice 2 for you guys. Who has your favorite special move? Jordan.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Come back to me. I gotta think.
Brian.
Flash.
Andrew.
Cyborg.
Yeah?
I just like you get
like-
sent to Apocalypse. That's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
It was fucking, and it's out of fucking nowhere.
But
Like,
then you get thrown back, and he's like, "Nope," and then hits you with his fucking super Kamehameha beam.
Yeah. Jordan.
I think I gotta go with Superman for some reason.
Oh, I haven't seen his yet.
it's okay.
It's his it's the Man of Steel punching Zod through the clouds.
From over the shoulder.
From over the shoulder.
Yeah, I
From-
like
I
that
have
shot.
seen it.
I don't know. It gives me a boner.
Yeah, no, the shot's fantastic. And then he gets at the end of it and he catches him. And then basically...
Right
He
into the
catches
sun.
him by the face.
Really?
yeah, he
in the
catches
palm of
him,
his hand
and then
and
he
throws
chokeslams
him.
him to the ground.
Right into the sun.
Choke slams him right into the sun.
Yeah.
Who's...
Just makes Superman stronger.
Second favorite would probably be Batman.
Yeah, and I have to agree, dude.
Now.
Yeah, simply because he says now, and then you get the shot of the Batwing on the moon.
Because there's a pause, and everything goes silent. You just hear Kevin Conroy now, and then he gets fucking hoisted up.
Because he hits that, he attaches the weather balloon to their ankles, and
So
then
great.
gets picked up like the Dark Knight thing that they did.
Yeah, I can't remember what they call it. It was a CIA program
Yeah.
that actually did exist that
Yeah.
they used.
To get people out of situations in low
Laos.
flight areas
Low flight. Yeah. Sorry.
In Laos.
where they don't want to be detected by radar because
Right.
they're too high up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
That they put that into the game. Fuck, man. I really like Wonder Woman's.
I haven't seen hers yet. I didn't get a chance to
It's
see it.
pretty brutal.
Yeah,
As it
it
should
was.
be.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like that Wonder Woman's fucking brutal because it works for her character.
Yeah.
You know?
That's one of the things that I wish they did more with this game was make it more brutal, like Mortal Kombat X was.
I will say though that I noticed this, and it was just an outside thing that I noticed, and then once I noticed it, I couldn't unthink it. A lot of the super moves, while they look cool, not a lot of them are very unique.
No.
It's a lot of shooting general energy projection beams at people. It's a lot of slamming people between two things.
See, that's why I like cyborgs, because
It's not like that, yeah.
Yeah,
But at the end of it, he shoots an energy projection beam at somebody.
True.
Darkseid is fucking great.
Darkseid is
awesome.
is really, it's possibly my favorite one.
Yeah.
Because it's so unexpected.
Because he turns away from you.
Yeah.
And then blasts the Omega Sanction beams, and you
It
fucking
throws you
pinball
into
all
space.
through space. Yeah.
Pinballs you off of a bunch of satellites and meteors and shit.
And then
catch it, and then you land on a hard surface, and then that hard surface closes around your body, and his hand pulls back through a boom tube, and he's just throwing you onto the ground. Like, it's the
great.
craziest fucking thing.
fucking great.
Also, his basic punch is just a bitch slap.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
And he hardly ever takes his hands out from behind his back.
Yeah, he's so...
Zero fucking effort.
Because it's Darkseid.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
I thought Green Lanterns was a good super move, where he basically makes a giant fucking
Mech.
green
Suit,
mech.
yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
So much better than his first one.
And
in
again-
the first game.
Shoot you with an energy projection beam at the end. Blue Beetle shoots you with an energy projection beam at the end. There's a lot of that. So I don't know.
Yeah. I guess the whole thing is like when you're playing the story, you're not ever killing anyone,
right?
So that could make sense as to why the super moves don't look as devastating.
Yeah, no.
Although some of them do, like Swamp Thing, where he breaks your back over
Swamp
that
Thing's
pointy
rough.
rock.
Yeah,
Brainiac.
It might have been. It might have been that I've seen Swamp Thing so much that I don't even consider it anymore.
Brainiac
is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
because he has 4 of his hive mind things attach themselves to you, so you can't move, and then his epic skull-shaped spaceship comes out of the clouds and just shoots you with a huge energy projection beam.
It's still.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Yeah, but it's done in a way that you're like, oh, that's pretty fucking devastating. So that's awesome.
Robins is fun.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
I like Robins, and I like Deadshot's is pretty sweet too.
Canary's does not use an energy projection beam. It uses an energy wave from her mouth.
Yeah. Rob and I were just talking. That could have been cooler because she's one of the best fighters in the DCU. So it could just be her working him over, beating the shit out of him, and then grabbing him by the face and doing the canary cry right into their face, and then still get the push into the ground afterward. That's all they need, just a little bit more like
their
that.
face, their head would explode.
Yeah, well, it's a video. Well, clearly it's not because they're using it before.
I just think that they could have done more with canaries. I mean, it's cool.
It's cool. It's a little abrupt.
Yeah, I just wish there was more to it.
Same with Blue Beetles.
Yeah.
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow is an awesome one.
I was gonna say
energy projection beam there.
I was gonna say as an outside favorite character for probably all 3 of us to play as, Scarecrow is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
his intro because he uses the fear toxin every time.
Yeah,
or the fear gas. Yeah.
So anytime,
and the fact that he walks out in like normal clothes and the bag mask, and then he opens the canister and he turns into that is so fucking cool.
A fear-inducing toxin.
And he's definitely the creepiest iteration I think we've seen. The way he's like shuffles when he walks.
Yeah, and then he's got that. There's that one move where he like gets on all 4s and just pounces at you.
He does like a Voldo.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
God, I hate Voldo.
The whole thing is so unsettling.
Like slicey hugs.
So he's definitely one of my favorite characters to play as, for sure.
Yeah, and that fucking chain whip.
Yeah, that chain is awesome.
With the scythe.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
It's like that was kind of like Lobo. In the first game, that it's a longer range.
Yeah. Because he's got that one move that he just fucking swings it, and then if you meter burn that, he just keeps fucking swinging it.
Well, it's fucking Freddy Krueger who does his voice. It's Robert Englund.
Oh, that's Robert Englund. Oh, wow, that's
Englund's
cool.
doing Scarecrow.
That just makes sense.
Cause we were noticing the voices because I can't remember his name, but the guy that plays Cyborg in the car, everything else is doing Cyborg. Stephen J. Blum is Hal Jordan. Phil Lamar is doing double
Phil Lamar's
time.
Aquaman, Green Lantern,
Yeah, he's also
Jon Stewart. So
Kevin Conroy.
I think regular Green Lantern was Adam Baldwin. I could be wrong, but it sounded like it.
With Stephen Blum.
No, it's Steve Blum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Kevin
that was the first Injustice. I apologize. Yeah. Alan Tudyk is Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy is Batman. We don't know who Superman is.
It sounds like Tim
It's
Dale.
not Tim Dale.
It's not,
I can almost guarantee you it's not.
It kind of sounds like him.
I could be wrong.
Wait, who?
Superman.
Superman is... I've got the IMDb page pulled up. Superman is George Newbern.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Anyway, but yeah, so it's a good voice cast.
Yeah.
And whoever's doing Harley Quinn, she's doing a much better job than that new animated movie that's coming out.
That's Tara Strong.
It's Tara
Tara
Strong.
Strong.
Oh, well, there you go. She's one of the best.
Yeah.
I'd also like to just throw out how amazing the graphics are.
Yeah, it looks. It's a
For
really
the
good looking
cutscene.
game. Really good looking game.
They made it a point, it seems like, and we were commenting on this before we came on, but it seems like they made it a point to make the female characters all look like actual people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just the same face.
It's not just like the same face with a different makeup on it.
Yeah. They actually have
like
different
Canary
faces.
They have
looks
different
like,
shapes. They look like actual people that I
Yeah.
can't think of.
yeah, like based on actresses or something.
Yeah.
Like Canary looks like
Somebody
actress
that I
I've
can't.
seen.
Yeah.
And Poison Ivy. It's just cool because I mean, a lot of times in comics, everyone has the same face. It's just cool to finally see like distinct.
Wow,
features and
Andrew.
things.
Everyone in comics has the same face.
I said it.
Check your non-comic privilege, okay?
I said it.
But
This is America.
But
Sorry.
that's it. We kind of touched on it. I also wanted to ask who your least favorite character to play as was.
Well, I know Andrew's going to say Grodd.
Fucking Grodd. I'm so disappointed. I wanted him to be great. I wanted to be a big psychic gorilla.
I played with Grodd and I actually didn't have any problems. But
Nope, I had nothing.
Yeah, I played as him briefly. I don't remember even the experience of it. Because I know he has that kinetic ability, but I didn't actually get to use it much. I don't remember doing anything crazy with it. His super move is okay. He just kind of tosses you back and forth and then does the to your face.
Right.
Yeah.
He does the psychic shit too. I guess I still haven't played all of them, but the least favorite so far is Atrocitus.
Yeah.
I didn't like playing as him. I didn't like the design of it. I just didn't like that character almost at all.
Jordan?
I'd have to agree with Atrocitus.
Okay.
My close second for that would probably be Black Canary, actually.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
you can be right on one of those.
I didn't like... there's still a couple characters that have yet to play as, but I really didn't like playing as Cheetah.
Oh,
Really?
right. Yeah, I saw you play that.
She was kind of boring.
And her super is super lame.
It's just Berserker Barrage from
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yes.
When they could, we were just saying another one. They could have just had her clawing the shit out of somebody's face instead of like jumping all around. You know what I mean? Or just something.
Yeah, and like they could have
Just
gone for
lazy.
something that was a little bit more splash pagey, and they didn't. It's just like scratch marks on the screen. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
She was kind of lame.
It was an afterthought.
Absolutely.
But it's weird though that we're saying like all the characters that we said we didn't like to play as are all villain characters that they added to the game, thinking it would make it more depth.
Interesting.
Because
yeah,
they added
Atrocitus and
Cheetah and Atrocitus and
Grodd.
Grodd, and so that's an interesting thing to see.
But again, I mean, I liked playing as Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
You know, I liked playing as a lot as the new characters.
No, it's just an interesting like I mean, my favorite character to play as is Swamp Thing. It's clearly a new character.
Yeah.
And clearly a villain. I'm joking. Come on. Okay.
And Brainiac,
Defender of the Green, goddammit.
Brainiac was weird, but I feel like I would like him.
Yeah, I'm pretty good as him, and I didn't necessarily want to be.
Darkseid's awesome.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed playing as Darkseid.
So yeah, dude, fucking Injustice 2.
Check it out.
Definitely
Redbox that shit.
Definitely worth a red box at least.
Gets our rating of check it out.
But before we cast that, who do you want to see as at least one of the DLC people that hasn't been announced yet? Brian.
I know that there's Captain Cold in it. I would still like to see Mr. Freeze.
Oh,
I know that you can make him look like Mr. Freeze.
No, it's a full blown skin, like the way in the same vein as Reverse Flash.
Okay.
Where it's Freeze, it's just all of Captain Cold's maneuvering.
But he's talking. He's a different voice and everything, right?
Yes.
I would rather. I love Freeze so much as a character. I know that it's basically the same thing as Captain Cold. I just would like to see him as
his own character.
Thing. Yeah.
I got you.
But Man Bat, I think that would be something really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Killer Croc.
Oh,
Killer Croc would have been like Arkham Killer Croc, where he's like 8 feet tall. That'd be.
And he's technically in the game.
Yeah.
If you do a level transition
in
Arkham Asylum,
yep.
They did that in the first game,
or in the Batcave.
Oh, okay.
He shows up and like bites the person and like drowns them and then throws them through a wall.
Yeah.
Andrew, who do you think? Who would you want in the game?
As a DLC.
As a DLC. Just thinking about it, because he's in the transition, like you were saying Killer Croc was, I think Black Manta would be cool, because he looks, the way they show him in that transition, he looks fleshed out, like
pretty good, yeah.
It looks pretty good. Like, I think it's going to end up being Black Manta.
Yeah.
I think in one of those promo shots that they had at the end of the last DLC trailer, I'm like 95% sure that he is one of those.
I mean, he cuts a pretty distinctive silhouette.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
When you see Black Manta's silhouette, you don't think of any other thing. It
Yeah.
is clearly Black Manta.
Yeah.
Jordan, who do you want to see as a DLC?
Clayface.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking really interesting.
Yeah.
He'd be like Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
And
their
I think it
abilities
would
and
be
shit.
cool, kind of how they had Martian Manhunter in the first game, where he would transform
That was the next one I was
into
gonna say.
Me too.
who you're playing against.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool for like a finisher, where
Yeah.
he would transform into you, and then do stuff like that. I just think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, that was gonna be my one.
I'm still gonna hold out hope that Spawn gets into the game somehow.
That would be ridiculous.
After having played it, if they were able to get Spawn in the game, I would fucking go batshit crazy with him.
Or I think some cool skins. I would like to see like a Kilowog skin for. You can do a bunch with Green Lantern. A Kilowog skin would be pretty cool. Or even have like a
Parallax.
yeah, or even just or Yellow Lantern Hal.
Yeah.
Bring back Sinestro.
Bring back Sinestro, because I liked him more than Hal in the first game anyway.
They kind of gave.
I wish
Blue
they-
Beetle some of Sinestro's stuff.
Like with the
I can say the character I'm most disappointed in was Bane.
I haven't played him yet.
He looks. I don't know.
Sadly, he's better than the last one.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So
And I've been updating
consider
his gear and stuff, and he's been looking better and better each time I update it. So I'm hoping by the time I finish unlocking everything, he's going to look like amazing.
His mechanics weren't bad. I was hoping for a little bit more of an easy grappler, like
King from Tekken.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking he would be like, but I haven't played him yet. He's not like that.
The mechanics are there a little bit, but yeah, not what I would like. And yeah, I really don't like the design for him. But that's cool that the gear's helping. But Bane needs to be fucking huge, and he's just kind of big.
A guy. Yeah.
He's just kind of big. You know, it's again just like Dark Knight Rises. It's just kind of Tom Hardy's Bane was just kind of a big dude, not a huge fucking hulking dude. You know. Yeah. So yeah, Injustice 2 is fucking great. Go Redbox that shit. Play it.
I can't wait until we finish this so we can play it some more.
Yes. Yes, we need to play it some more.
Yeah, but now is the time in the podcast when I must ask the all-important question, who would win? This week is a great one, fellas. We have a great one this week, guys.
Well, we announced it on the Facebook and the Twitter.
Yeah. We had the official Twitter poll. Not a lot of you guys showed up for it.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, jerks.
Oh, no.
So let me read the results real quick.
Well, who is it?
We have Hellboy versus Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
So Anun Ungrama versus Jaime Reyes. Let's go.
So the official Twitter poll. Hold on. Let me crunch the numbers here real quick.
Jesus Christ.
5 of you voted, and
I will admit I am one of those.
And
5,
3 of us are on the podcast that voted.
Oh boy!
So 2 of you voted, and both of you went Blue Beetle.
So it was completely.
It was just 5 votes for Blue Beetle.
Wow.
And in the comments on Facebook, the first time that we posted our Who Would Win prior to the last episode, we got a lot of play in the comments section because everybody was jazzed up to see Star-Lord versus Boba Fett, and they really wanted to voice their opinion about it. And I think that's kind of the problem with this one, where we went with 2 characters that are not even close to being household names for anybody.
Hitting that deep.
Yeah, this one's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Every episode, every Who Would Win can't be that.
No,
that
I mean
giant
this
fucking
one's
billboard,
this one's a deep cut.
That marquee,
which these are arguably more interesting.
Yeah, no, for me these are definitely more interesting. But on Facebook, the only person to give an opinion on it went with Hellboy, but with the huge disclaimer that the only reason he went with Hellboy was because we were using Jaime Reyes' Blue Beetle and not Ted Cord. Hashtag Ted Cord is his beetle. So, be that as it may, and Andrew, Jordan, and myself all outed ourselves in the Facebook comments.
Yeah. We're in a triple relationship.
We're in a triple relationship together. We're going to see how it goes.
Until one of us gets jealous and...
kills the other.
Yeah.
It's round robin on who buys the lube.
So
right.
you have to love me, Jordan.
That's not fair. You can't just do that, dude. And also, we all picked Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Right.
So a couple reasons why I went with Blue Beetle over Hellboy. Reading as much as I can about them before I made the decision, it was especially because it's Jaime Reyes, because Ted Kord doesn't have, in what I estimated to be, anywhere near the amount of ability.
Well, he was all technology.
Yeah, where
Ted
Jaime Reyes is more. It's more based through the Scarab itself.
Yeah,
it's
like Alien.
It's an alien technology kind of thing, which I thought was interesting because Hellboy kind of searches for those things and has a huge background in those things. So
kind of, not really,
but like he knows of ancient technologies and shit.
Yeah, but not alien. Like,
well, but. Because the Scarab is kind of ancient, but also alien because they made it an ancient alien kind of deal. I just thought it'd be interesting because it seems like a situation where you could actually set up this who would win in a fucking comic book.
Right.
Like you could write it into
practically.
Hellboy searching for that.
Yeah.
And he finds it in Jaime Reyes' back and then they fight it out. Like that could be a thing that happens because the storyline, like as I was reading about the both of them, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is pretty neat actually.
Yeah.
But Hellboy's powers and abilities aren't mega defined in what I was reading. Obviously, he has that huge stone fist, but there's no real
big gun
ability to it other than it's a huge stone fist. It's supposed to be a key that unlocks something that they've never gotten to in the comic books.
It unlocks the Armageddon.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just
metal.
And it has to be attached to him because it was chosen for him.
Yes.
So he has to be present for it. It's not like somebody who wanted Armageddon could cut his arm off and plug it into the keyhole, wherever that may be. They need him present for it.
Right.
So it was kind of like a weird thing where it's not even necessarily a weapon. It's just kind of a tool.
But it's still a big stone hand.
It's a big stone hand, so he uses it as a weapon, obviously. Like, why wouldn't you use it as a fucking weapon? And he has that huge pistol, like you said. Where Jaime Reyes' powers are, the fucking list is just endless of what he's capable of, and the Scarab, and he communicate subconsciously
because it lives in his spine.
But it speaks a different language than him, but he's learning to understand it. Is what I read.
It's like, all right, how are we gonna do this?
And they utilize his character so much in Young Justice, which is phenomenal. And if you haven't seen it, the first 2 seasons are on Netflix. It's so much fun. But yeah, Jaime is like, he's great. He does not want that Scarab on him.
No.
At all.
That's what's cool about it.
Is he's not really interested in doing it. And it was really interesting.
But he had the mentorship from Ted Kord.
Yeah.
Which kind of pushed him into being the third Blue Beetle.
Yes.
Ted Kord was the second most well known.
The interesting thing at the end of in one of the towers in Injustice 2, just to go back real quick, I found the one that you could play to get the end sequences for the characters, and I played as Blue Beetle, not knowing that was the one that I was playing. So I got his end credit sequence where he defeats Brainiac. And he helps save the world, and Batman offers him an official spot on the Justice League, and he turns it down to go home. He's like, I really just want to go back to school and go see my parents and not have to deal with this stuff.
All you had to do is defeat fucking Brainiac.
Brainiac, that's it. Just take Brainiac down, and then you can go home. That's what Batman said, because he's an exploiter of children.
God damn it.
So that was really cool. I just thought that was interesting. That's where that character is that he just wants to go home.
So that's just like their arcade mode.
Yeah. So cool. So that really resonated with me to the point where I think I need to read Blue Beetle because all I ever want to do is just go home too.
Yeah.
Offered a spot on the Justice League officially by Batman, and he was like, dude, can I just go?
Dude,
Dipset.
I'm pretty sure I have half a sandwich in the refrigerator.
And it's coming up on 3 days. I gotta eat it.
Seriously, I have to eat it.
So I picked Blue Beetle. For those reasons. And those reasons alone. Andrew?
I also picked Blue Beetle. I mean, I know more about Blue Beetle than Hellboy, admittedly, but his powers are fucking ridiculous at some points.
Yeah.
Where it's just, of course, the strength, all that shit. But the technology has been described as WMD levels.
Yes.
If it calls for it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to kill anybody, so he pulls it back.
He's actively fighting against the beetle against the scarab at all times.
Yeah.
Because the scarab wants to protect him at all costs because it's attached to him.
And it's just like, okay, you should just shoot that guy's head off. And he's like, can we not? Please?
Yeah. It's basically the episode of Rick and Morty where Jaime is Summer and the scarab is
oh my God.
Rick's ship.
Jordan, so you picked Blue Beetle as well.
I picked Blue Beetle. In the Young Justice universe, Blue Beetle is from the Reach, basically, which is like an alien race.
Yes.
An ancient alien race, and they came for the Scarab off of his back, and they're basically kind of the big bad of season 2. And
right, but against Hellboy, your reasoning is
totally no. I'm just saying, totally. They wiped the floor with the entire Justice League. They wiped the floor with the Young Justice League, and so I think Hellboy just would not stand a chance against Blue Beetle with all the technology he has.
Okay, so
the way that it could manipulate itself to form blades or a gun or whatever.
A shield
that
or
Scarab,
wings.
That Scarab will stop at nothing
Okay.
to protect Jaime.
So Hellboy is a demon. All right, so Hellboy is not alien. He's not human. He's not half anything. He's a fucking demon. He is. He's an Unrama. His fist is indestructible. The Fist of Doom it's not just stone. It's just fucking indestructible material. He is completely invulnerable to fire. And in my mind, it's not just fire. It's like radiation, energy, all that kind of shit.
In your headcanon?
In my headcanon.
Nice.
That when you're invulnerable to fire, you're invulnerable to all that sort of like energy, radiation, that kind of shit. Because he has to be able to survive the fucking apocalypse that he brings about with the Ogre Jihad. So, he has, not just super strength, but he has really quick healing.
Yeah.
He can heal very quickly from injuries. He's not invincible and he's not immortal, but it's really fucking hard to kill him. He can be injured, but it's just really hard to. I think he wipes the floor with Beetle.
You think it's a stomp?
I think it's a stomp because
No
all
way.
that technology, it's all energy based. It's not going to do
No,
a
it's
fucking
not.
Energy based. He has blades.
Sorry. Okay, he has blades. So, I still think it's a stomp. I think that he's got that stone hand. He can use that, or not the stone hand, but the hand of doom. I think he can use that. I do. I think it's a stomp. Yeah. So
Wow.
there you go.
So,
I don't think that he has anything that puts Beetle down.
I don't think he can
Where
get a hold of him.
Beetle can down him.
Because I just don't think he can get a hold of Blue Beetle. If he did, maybe with the Hand of Doom. Granted, I'm not the biggest authority on Hellboy. And
I mean, he's not like some big hulking dude. He's quick. He's quick on his feet.
Yeah,
like,
but is he faster than...
I don't know if he's faster than Blue Beetle.
He's got jetpacks.
He's got access to a bunch of relics and like paranormal. I think they're called like reliquaries and shit like that. Like he's got access to a ton of weird shit.
That's why I thought it was so interesting.
Yeah.
That we put them together, not even realizing.
Yeah.
Because the Scarab sounds like something that would be in Hellboy's possession.
He basically can do necromancy. He can perform other magic and
brought,
spells.
I read that he brought something back from the dead.
It's in one of the movies, but but no, I mean that's one of his powers, and yeah, like he knows magic. Like I think that it really is. It comes down to who do you want to win, and I would rather see Hellboy win that. So, yeah.
I just think that while Hellboy doesn't necessarily die or is hard to kill, I just think that Blue Beetle would have an easier time putting him down.
These battles are to the death.
No, I know. But that's the thing, too. I don't think that he'd be able to kill Blue Beetle.
Okay.
Because, I mean, his pistol is a pistol. I mean, Blue Beetle probably gets shot at all the time anyway. It's not a thing that he has a problem dealing with.
I don't know. I just have this image in my head of him grabbing Beetle and then just the Hand of Doom just taking his head off. So
that's 3 against 1.
Let us know what you think.
For God's sake, vote.
Well,
Yeah.
you can't vote now.
No, well, you can definitely comment after hearing our thoughts and let us know what you think after hearing that.
And you can email us, and we will read it.
Yeah.
We haven't done it yet because no one's fucking emailed us.
No? Somebody send us an email, man. I'll read it. I don't give a fuck what you say.
I don't give a fuck.
What's that email address again?
popcultureshock@gmail.com. That's popcultureshock@gmail.com. popcultureshock@gmail.com.
Wade Boggs Carpet World. Wade Boggs Carpet World.
Head on.
So
Apply directly to the
send
forehead.
us an email. Give us your thoughts. If you have a suggestion for who would win that you would like to hear,
Then
send that our way.
Too bad. We make those decisions.
We could make that happen.
What we'd like to do is not reuse any character that we've ever previously used in a Who Would Win.
Right.
Special occasions.
Special occasions, sure.
Occasions.
But so far we've been pretty good at it.
I don't think we've reused one.
No.
I feel like we're gonna have to for the next one.
Well, yeah, we're gonna reuse one soon. But...
Yeah, but it's special occasion.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's we've been doing pretty good with it, and trying to go deeper into our own.
We'll have gone 20 episodes.
Our own knowledge and our own headcanon.
And the more obscure, the better.
Yeah,
that's because those are more fun. That's definitely fun. Or take someone like fucking Ultron versus
Elastic Man.
Fucking yeah, why not?
Well, it's
Plastic Man. Yeah,
the more obscure, the more it becomes a dick measuring contest as to who knows what.
Exactly.
So,
which is what Andrew was put on this earth to do:
measure his dick versus comic book knowledge.
Yes. I have nothing else in this world. Please don't take this from me.
So, we're episode 19. I'm Robert.
I'm Brian.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Jordan. Come back for episode 20.
Oh yeah, man!
Big deal.
Yeah, episode 20.
We've got Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Maybe
coming
I'll do
up,
some special stuff.
Yeah, make sure you stick around for that.
Like and subscribe and follow and
we're gonna play some Injustice.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
So, after hearing us explain ourselves, who do you think would win? Sticking with Blue Beetle, or are you taking Brian's side with Hellboy? Have you played Injustice 2? Who is your favorite character to play as? Your favorite super move? Did you like the story mode? The gear system? Are you confident that Joss Whedon will do a good job on Justice League? Any apprehensiveness there? How about Sony's unconnected Venom film? Do you like Tom Hardy in the role? How about that Silver and Black film featuring as many Spider-Man villains as possible? Bad idea? Let Sony know. Excited to see The Trench in Aquaman? Slaver's Bay? Interested in seeing David Harbour as Hellboy? Stoked for Universal's Dark Universe? Want to see Javier Bardem as Frankenstein's monster? Interested in The Mummy coming out soon? How about that Game of Thrones trailer? Are you excited to see the beginning of the end as we are? Let us know what you think. We want to hear your answers to any and all of these questions. You can reach us on Facebook by liking our page, Pop Culture Shock Headcannon. You can follow us on Twitter at PCS Headcannon. You can even email us at popcultureshock@gmail.com. And obviously, if you enjoy the show, you can like and subscribe to us on YouTube, so you'll never miss an episode. And as usual, if you'd like to hear what we have to say about this stuff and otherwise on a regular basis, we can also be followed individually. You can find me, Robert, on the Twitter at Yesball. Jordan is on both Twitter and Instagram at Alex Shepard. Andrew is on Twitter at flavored_red, which is also the name of the webcomic that he illustrates, so check that out too. And Instagram at skeleton_city_comics. And I'd say follow Brian this week, but that may prove difficult as Swamp Thing has just pulled him asunder, slammed him under the ground twice, snapped his spine over a craggy subterranean rock, and then power slammed him onto the very surface of the earth that we are all standing on. The moral is, don't fuck with the green. There's hell to pay. There it is, episode 19 in all her glory. She's a beaut, Clark. Episode 20 is our Wonder Woman episode, guys. Who's hype?